Good morning. Is it still morning? Yes, it is. Happy 4th of July. Happy birthday, Uncle Sam. Oh my goodness. Hold on. I have a note I wrote a little sticky somewhere. Something I was watching right before I walked in here. Hold on. Shall we cleanse? Let's cleanse because I didn't do this yesterday, I don't think. So, we're going to do it today. How about once more for Old Lang Syne? Old Lang Syne. Old Lang Syne. I know we went over this the other day, but I'm American. I don't know how to say the British pronunciation of AULD. Old. Yes, that. Very British. Namaste, bitches. All right. My sticky. Oh, wait. Listen, y'all. It's your job today to keep me on the path, okay? Keep me on the interstate. We can make 2 Starbucks runs, okay? And then I don't care what y'all have to do. Put flags there, put middle fingers, whatever you got to do. Put something there so that when I glance over, I know it's time to like reel it back in. Stay the path. Stay the path. I'm looking to make sure I don't have a potential fire over there. Woo! God, one of my candles I was burning yesterday, y'all can't see it. And the flame is so high right now, I'm not going to pick it up. I think I showed it to you before. It's it's a Fornacetti, and it's in a beautiful like aqua blue and gold porcelain vessel with a lid. And yesterday when I blew it out, I had it burning in here for many hours. Oh, my husband's out in the kitchen. Oh, that's all right. I can do it in my office. But when I blew it out yesterday, I noticed that the wick, you know how sometimes the wick will fall down in the oil, and if you don't pull it back up, I should have trimmed it is what I should have done. But when I blew it out yesterday, I said, ooh, I came over and I got an old junky pen out of my container and I pulled that wick back up. Well, when I just lit this thing, oh my, what a difference pulling the wick out of the oil makes. And it's, my goodness, it's got quite a flame going over there, which in and of itself is not a problem. But there are some draperies over there that I just, it's not even close, but stranger things have probably happened. Spontaneous combustion and whatnot. Good morning, crazy nurse. How are you? Kathy P, good morning. It's me, Amberly. Brittany, good morning. Stella Bella, TT the good Tiffany, good morning. Happy 4th of July. Rhett's mom, how are you? Hi, Fairy Dust. Wine, Crime, and Mayhem. Heather Smith, good morning. Good morning. Fit and Curvy, good morning. Zen, greetings. Steph B, good morning. Okay, before I came in here, it just popped up in my feed, and I'm going to tell you guys about it. I'm telling you, if you ever doubt that this thing is listening, it is. What were we talking? Oh, yesterday I literally said, like, maybe not even a sentence, a full sentence about whether or not channels like Soft White Underbelly, Chosen One, and I was talking about the interview Dietz did with Veli Ray, is that his name? Well, my goodness, what do you think popped up in my feed? No, not him. Someone named, hold please while I look at my sticky note. Oh yes, someone named Marco Romes. And the one that I clicked on was Marco Romes. Marco, I'm assuming that's Marco, who incidentally is not hard to look at. Marco kind of looks like a diet version of my movie husband, Jason Momoa. So I don't, I'm not sure where he's roaming, but I'm on board to follow, at least for a little while. But the one I clicked on, and did I mention he has like an Australian or a New Zealand accent, which also doesn't hurt. But feel free, somebody, if you want to put his link in the chat. I'm not going to play it, but the one I clicked on, he was in the Philippines, and the thumbnail said, Marco Rose goes to the worst neighborhood in the Philippines. And he did. And wow. What's amazing is here's Marco with his selfie stick and just navigating the 2-lane road that was very congested. And was he in Manila? Maybe. I believe it was Manila. It was one of the largest cities. But when you looked in the shot, in the background of what he was filming, which was an absolute slum. Anybody who's ever been to true story. I remember when I was a teenager, we went to Barbados, not on a cruise. We went to Barbados, and it took about at least an hour to get from the airport to the resort we were staying at. And we were in one of these like the old school Volkswagen Carmen Ghia like convertible deals. And of course, I was a teenager and I had better things to do than go to Barbados with the fam dam. But nonetheless, I was told, you're going. Oh, isn't it amazing how when we have it so, we don't appreciate like the things that when we get older, we're like, well, damn, I'd love to go back there now. But I remember the two things that my very spoiled teenage self was bitching about the entire 1-hour ride to the resort was, and if you've ever been to the islands, you will be able to smell this when I say it, the burning sugar cane, like when they process sugar cane. Woo! And God, I'm such a devoted lover of sugar, but my goodness, it does not smell so pleasant when it's being refined. So I bitched about that because I was like, ew, it smells. And the other thing that I was just like so freaked out about, I had never seen poverty like that in my life. I mean, there were people living in corrugated tin shacks on the side of the road. And that, that was like a permanent until the hurricane comes domicile. So when Marco was walking through this slum, which by the way was far worse than anything I ever saw in Barbados, in the background, you can see these two lovely, very large high rises that I'm quite certain are the hotel for the American tourists. But the other thing that struck me was how amazingly friendly all those people were. The men, the women, the children, especially the children. And something occurred to me. Well, damn, I know why they're so extra friendly. They think he's a damn talent scout for 90 Day Fiance. He's like, hi, I'm Big Ed's agent. Perhaps you've heard about me. My God. Do you know? I mean, there's a reason that so many of these fiancés, that these disgusting men who can't find a woman for free in the United States, they have to go, basically, well, I'll just leave that right there. If you've ever watched 90 Day Fiance, well, you know what I'm talking about. Oh, perhaps I should revisit my dragging of the 90 Day people. But you can't ever, you can only do it like I'm doing now. You cannot ever play clips, none of that, because, they will get you. So there's that. Okay. And the only, we're going to do our little Coco Chanel quote, which, by the way, I swear to you, I just sat down, opened the book and said, whatever I open to, whichever page I like better in this book is what I'm reading. So here it is. May my legend gain ground. I wish it a long and happy life. There's a reason that we perhaps appreciate this woman far more. Well, I don't know about far more, but kind of like celebrities who died. Like the best thing that ever happened to Elvis's bank account was dying. I mean, I'm sorry, I hate to be so crude about it, but it's the truth. This right here, if you're old enough, you will remember a time when a Chanel 2.25 quilted classic flap handbag was considered an old lady bag, and you could find them at garage sales. Thank you, Karl Lagerfeld, for turning that ship around. Boy, he righted that ship. Oh, crazy nurse, that's awesome. I tell you what, Coco Chanel, boy, she was a ruthless bitch. But you know what? Let's face it, you got to have a dash of ruthless. Some people have far more than others. Oh, like this person, I'm going to briefly, I started thinking about something that that blithering dumbass idiot Bullhorn Betty said at the end of the video yesterday when she said, nothing lasts forever. When she was speaking about PTSD, and of course, and that is her cursory expertise in the field of psychology, because she did, supposedly take, well, at least 3 credit hour course in psychology. So I thought, you know what? Well, damn you, stupid bitch. I can come up with several things right off the top of my head that do, in fact, last forever. So here they are. Listen up, Betty. Grief lasts forever. You would have to have loved someone more than yourself at one point or another. And she's never done that, so she won't understand it. But Betty, from the normal thinking, warm-blooded people, take it from us. Grief does indeed last forever, and it just, depending on who you're grieving, probably determines. Well, I mean, if you love someone and you lose them, grief is grief. Okay. Woo! Damn this pen. Oh, your criminal record. Yes, your criminal record will last forever. Yes, it will. No matter what you do, you are never getting away from that. It will always precede you. And thank God, because it's kind of like a, well, it's kind of like an instruction manual for all the other people of the world that, have the misfortune to encounter you and cross your path. They can, they can just take a gander at that, and it might make a few things more clear. A traumatic childhood will also last forever. Oh my goodness, Betty, don't you say all the time that all of your criminal activity was due to, your very traumatic upbringing? That is actually one of the few things I've ever heard you say that I tend to believe, because for somebody to be as miserable and hateful and vile as you, well, it can only be one of a few things, or, a combination of said things. So there you go, Betty. There's another thing that lasts forever. Hey, Mama Bear, how are you? Oh, a black soul that also lasts forever, along with a small heart. Oh, a lack of style. And just general all around bad taste and tackiness. Yeah, that's you can try and teach people things. You can't teach someone style. You can teach someone what looks good on them, what colors work well together with their skin tone, etc. You cannot teach style. Oh, class as well. Yeah, a lack of class. That pretty much lasts forever. Just look at your friend Molly. I mean, if you could buy it, well, my God, I'm sure she would have by now. So yeah, that'll last forever too. Those pesky plastic bags from the grocery store. Goodness, I think those last forever, or damn close to it. Oh, yes. And there is that very unfortunate STD. Well, that also lasts forever. And finally, I would imagine when you're someone who, despite the fact that you have a abysmal credit score, even when your abysmal credit score is at its highest, it still exceeds your IQ. So there you have it. And Betty, I just jotted those things down before I ran in here. I'm sure if I, really put my back into it, I could come up with some more things. So see, there you go. Some things really do last forever. All righty. So, shall we? Okay. I think I do have the video queued up, and I think that. Hi, Tay Kelly, how you doing? Hey, Amy, happy 4th of July. Anybody coming in the door? Happy 4th. I hope you guys have a good day and do something fun. I'm pretty sure I don't need to read this, but I will. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as comment, criticism, education, teaching, research, and whatever the other one is that I didn't remember. I'm so proud of myself. Wow, yay, Lisa. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be considered infringing. Okay. Now, as to my wardrobe this morning, oh, it is hot in here, you guys. God, some of you, if you've ever watched me before, I'm looking for my fan. Where's that damn fan? What did I do with that thing? I'm gonna need it. What's so crazy is if I step out the threshold of my door, it will be a lovely 70 degrees. 2 feet over that threshold. I don't know if it's something with the damn vent. I don't know what it is, but it is insufferable in here. The fact that I'm drinking coffee probably doesn't help, but it's lukewarm. Okay, I have to find this fan. Pardonnez-moi. What the hell did I do with that thing? Oh, there it is. Yay. It was on the ground. Okay, back to the wardrobe, which I don't even really know what we call this. I was thinking before I walked in here. I mean, I call this like a, well, you're going to laugh. It might actually be a real term for this. I call this like a Juliet sleeve or a Capulet. No, nobody calls it a Capulet sleeve. It just, the Juliet, the Renaissance Romeo Juliet kind of, this is not a cold shoulder top. I mean, I guess you could, because it does have a full sleeve. You do have to put your arm through here. But I guess I just call it a Juliet sleeve. And any of you who have ever watched me, well, you know that sometimes when I'm getting ready to, just drag somebody for fill, I like to wear animal print and very high heels. I did do a wardrobe change before I came in here. That t-shirt, I thought, damn, that t-shirt's going to be hot. This thing is like tissue thin. And I did change my shoes too, to these lovely Jean Vito Rossi. Now I did listen. I have never any supply of animal print, but I thought, no. This is the weekend. This is the holiday. I'm doing cash. I am not putting on some fierce silk animal print for these yahoos. No, I'll save that for later. But I thought, well, in place of the animal print, this is my homage to Tube Top Tammy. Now, listen, girl, I know I don't look as fierce as you do in your tube top, but girl, I'm old enough to be your mom, so I think. So there's that. But I try. Okay, so you'll just have to, girl. They say imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. You should take a note. Okay, so we are going to listen to, this is what I had on the agenda for yesterday, but that damn bitch hole Betty, she got us derailed. But this is what I was going to talk about. And it is Forgotten Whisper's uncle is the video I'm going to talk about. The beginning of it is going to be EKC. I don't think I'm going to, listen, I got good intentions. Okay. I always say, I don't really have much to say about that. And then, 0.8 seconds in, I'm pausing and but truly, I don't, of the three of these people on the Mensa panel, EKC is clearly going to be I'm voting her as head of the card table that we're having this Mensa panel at. Okay. I'm putting EKC in charge because I'm not a fan of all the cartoon anime aesthetic, but she does seem to be civilized. She doesn't, I wouldn't put a muzzle on her if she were to consent like I would on the other two. I was just thinking of something you do with your animals when God forbid it's, that's what I would. So I'm not saying she hasn't said really dumb, objectionable things, but that's of all of them, I truly do have I don't really have anything that I've seen. I don't think it was, I mean, I know a lot of people are dragging her for what we're going to watch here in the beginning about just kind of saying, oh yeah, well, I heard that rumor too. But we all do that. All right, let's get real. Was it was it the right thing to do when given the choice to just no? But I'm not a hypocrite like a lot of these bitches. I'm not going to sit up here and to somebody when I've done the same damn thing. So there you go. That's that. Oh, Mama Bear. It's it's YouTube's favorite ousted I don't know. Is she considered ban-evading? I don't know. YouTube's favorite ousted Molly Magoo. And well, I mean, some people call her Veda Potato. Some people call her Tube Top Tammy. I just call her Veda, I think I'm going to agree with something I heard somebody say the other day about you're like, girl, you might want to slow your roll and attend to some personal issues. Okay. Because, sometimes, I don't know. It just seems like some of y'all have you should have bigger fish to fry than inserting yourselves into random strangers' lives from the internet. And I'm going to state once again, hey, Glow with Go, how you doing? And this goes for everybody, not just these ass clowns. If you are under the impression that because someone who has social media, like all of us sitting here, decides to share parts of their lives and then decides they don't want to share parts of their lives anymore, you need to run to the nearest mental health counselor if you think that you or anyone else has the right to demand that these people give you any information at all. I mean, just because people like Molly Golightly have the incredibly poor taste and extreme lack of judgment in live streaming every moment of their shitty lives and exposing their children and the rest of their family to ridicule and scorn because of the way they behave on social media, just because you do that and people who are like-minded, you all do that, that is your choice to do. And I promise everyone, we all know that this is the rules for thee, but not for me crew. Do you think for one hot second that any of these people, and let me also add, I don't give a damn if you gave these people money. I don't care if you gave super chats. I don't care if you sent traffic their way. It doesn't matter. Nobody owes any of us anything where their lives are concerned. And I don't know when we have gotten to this place where normal, right-thinking people, we're somehow supposedly in the wrong. No, you are. And if you can't see the hypocrisy from 100 miles away, well, I can't help you. Okay, so this is from Forgotten Whispers' uncle, entitled Egos and Simps. All right, Here we go.
I don't ever slow up, no, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no, I don't take shit. I got no.
Not being monetized. I haven't even look. If I was worried about being monetized, I would have put in for it.
I do not know why she's one of these people, just based on the pieces of her videos that I've seen. She's one of these people who she's the queen of semantics. Much like, God, who was I talking about? Oh, yeah, no, I was going to make an analogy that I see, the analogy I can draw between her and another person, but I'm not going to. But yes, queen of semantics, and someone who feels the need to set the record straight on every damn thing that is completely irrelevant and falls in the category of who gives a shit, like this. Veda, why do you think any of us give a damn about whether you put in for monetization or not? It has zero to do with anything. To me, it's just a distraction. Plus, I think Veda is one of these people who just loves to hear herself talk. And there's, I mean, let's face it, to some degree, we all enjoy the talk. But I see another commonality between the people we talk about. They feel the need to do their damnedest to micromanage everyone else's impressions of them, which I understand when it's a big something important, something glaring that's been misstated. Something like this, who gives a shit, Veda? And I feel like people who do this, don't you have, my God, you're here on a mission, aren't you? Don't you have more, like, Veda girl, did you write a mission statement to get, I mean, I feel like we're forming a whole nother board of Tragedy Pimps Inc. What is this, junior edition? And Veda's writing the mission statement. I mean, if you've got all these important things to do and you came here for a reason and you, according to you, you've accomplished what you came here to do. Well, damn good for you, girl. But goodness, something tells me you'll find another like very important mission you need to go on while you're here. And just, you might want to just consider this is just, coming from someone older and a lot smarter than some of the other people you surround yourself with. You don't need to constantly, you're all bogged down in the minutia here over shit that nobody cares about. And it's my experience that people who do that, well, for all the reasons I just stated.
And I've got some subscribers, but I'm trying to at least.
Oh, wait.
How long does it take when you fill out for like?
I have a question, and this is a legit thing. And I noticed this on, oh God, remember when I talked about that disgusting, foul, hateful bitch, that black queen of what? I think we have a new avatar pose. Forever we had this one. Well, here, I'll use my little miniature Louis Sherry box. Remember this one? I'm here to say I have never, no. But it seems we have a new pose. Just picture Cleopatra or Nefertiti or, some other goddess floating down, oh, I don't know, maybe the Nile, or being carried in a chaise. Wow. Doing one of these. And I mean, is behind Veda's right shoulder, is there like a strapping, oiled down serf wearing a loincloth and a Wonder Woman belt with like a big palm frond just fanning her, and maybe, you know, popping a grape in her pie hole when she comes up for air. I mean, because I noticed that other gross lady, the Black Queen. Yeah, I'm still waiting to find out what she's the queen of. I have thoughts, but I'm not interested in getting sniped when I go to the grocery store. So, you know, I'll keep those. I'll keep those in here. But I'm sure you can imagine what I might be thinking. But yes, I noticed she also. I think I left Gina Diamond a comment when she did that hilarious video, that short with the Don't You Wish Your Girlfriend Was Hot Like Me song playing. And I said, girl, you know, that pose that she's striking, well, she's not voguing, that's for sure. But this pose that she's striking, kind of like this is the Black Queen lady I'm speaking of. Well, maybe this one too. But I said to Gina, girl, I mean, I would, if that pose is to be believed, well, then she should be lounging on like a gorgeous, you know, maybe silk shantung, or, you know, some kind of nice wool blend chaise lounge. But something tells me the bitch is leaning back on a piece of furniture rented from Aaron's. It's like, and then I saw Vedas, you know, striking the same. Strike a pose, girl. Just, you know, it's just a thought, just something I'm wondering.
Your monetization thing, how long does it take? 'Cause it's been 2 months since I filled out for that thing.
2 months.
Yeah, and it's still not up. I've talked to
2 months.
YouTube about it, and I wanted to wait. You want to see?
Liar,
How long does it
pants
take when-
on fire. God, does it hurt when you get cold busted like that? Let's see if it's me. Because listen, we've all said things that are not, you know, factually correct, or, you know, we all tell little white lies, I guess. Does that sting? I mean, I have come in here several times and made a mea culpa. Benny, you can make a mea culpa pro bono, sweetie. Just you jot that down in your book of legal knowledge. Yeah, but I wonder, like, does it, some of these people like Veda, Jada, God, I always want to call her Jada. Sorry, Jada Pinkett. These people, they really do. Another commonality, they all have this uncanny ability to just look right at you and lie their asses off, despite the fact that there is proof to the contrary. There is proof of you saying something completely different, which I guess is why it was dirty to lead it, huh? Yeah. What? But like, who cares? It falls under the category of who cares? Why did you lie about it? Why not just say, I fucked up. I didn't do it right. Oh, no, Veda. I guess it was because when you know, crawled your way out of the grave, the dirt, you know, into 1,000 subs, so that, you know, because I'm pretty sure that the goal with her, the all-important goal, is monetization. I do believe what I always heard was something about she got to the 1,000, but she didn't have the watch hours. Cue Molly Golightly from stage left. Enter stage left, Molly. We need you. But yeah, I just always wondered if it's like, oh God, that. Ugh. That's so weird. Do you hear that? I heard that. And I was like, what the hell is that noise? The canvas in my chair, when I move the right way, that's weird. It makes a strange noise. Okay, carry on.
When you fill out for like your monetization thing, how long does it take? 'Cause it's been 2 months since I filled out for that thing.
2 months.
Yeah, and it's still not up.
I love that. 2 months. You know, Molly's thinking, you dumb
Okay.
bitch.
Right here, it's asking me to become a YouTube partner. I haven't even applied for it because it's not about the money to me. It's not. It takes a lot to gather all the truth up. And how long does it take when
Boy,
you fill
it
out
does take a lot to gather all the truth up, doesn't it? My goodness.
for like your monetization thing? How long does it take? 'Cause it's been 2 months since I filled out for that thing.
2 months.
Yeah, and it's still not up.
I love that.
Through is
2 months.
wrong. It's wrong. You don't put your whole life out on social media and then say, you know what? Enough.
Really? Why? Because you want to keep making money off the back of somebody else's heartbreak and tragedy? Like, I don't understand this thought process. I mean, but I'm fairly confident when I say that I would bet my very life that if all these people lost monetization or the ability to make any money at all on this case, do you think they would ever speak of it again? No, they wouldn't. But Jada, or Molly, Molly's going to really take us down a path full of flawed logic and potholes.
I've got some subscribers, but I'm trying to at least. How long does it take when you fill out for like your
Molly,
monetization
we
thing? How
said
long does it take? Because it's been 2
enter
months
stage
since I filled out
left.
for that thing.
2 months.
Yeah, and it's still not up. I've talked to
Molly, you rarely make me
uh,
laugh, but thank you. That was hilarious.
YouTube
I
about
do
it.
love that. 2
Yeah, I
months.
wanted to wait. You want to see?
You wanted to wait.
How long does it take when you fill out for like your monetization thing? How long does it take? Because it's been 2 months since I filled out for that thing.
2 months.
Yeah, and it's still not up.
God, if we had to take a
Right,
shot
right.
every
I'm a
time
partner.
2 months was said,
Okay.
I'd already be on the floor. I don't drink.
Right here, it's asking
I'm like
me to
a
become a YouTube partner. I haven't even
non-drinking
applied for it because
son.
it's not about the money to me. It's not. It takes a lot to
Beta, there's a thing there's an old expression back from the time of old, Billy Shakespeare. I believe it was from Macbeth. The lady doth protest too much. Like, stop drawing attention to it and quit using Betty's Klieg light, that she uses to, my God, it must be like part Klieg light, part paint roller, because she manages to just, who knew that like wattage on a damn light could do so much for one's appearance? Too bad she can't find a way to wear one, kind of like maybe like a miner's hat, but we could reverse the light so she could, as long as she had her helmet on, she'd be remotely close to what she uses now. Yeah, Veda, stop, honey, the lady doth protest too much, except you're not a lady, so the girl doth protest too much.
gather all the truth up. And how long does it take when you fill out for like your monetization thing?
Class?
How long does it take? Because it's been 2 months since I filled out for that thing.
2 months.
Yeah, and it's still
It's
not
never
up.
going to get old.
Kids through is wrong. It's wrong. You
Wow.
don't put your whole life out on social media and then say, you know what? Enough. I'm going to close that book.
Okay, so is Dre McCrae? I must not have seen this in the terms of service. I did not realize that when you create an account and you create content that you are, well, kind of like Scientologists. They make you sign like a 1 billion-year contract or something. Is that kind of what this is? Like since I've made these YouTube videos, does this mean that I have to live stream every, like, until I go in the ground? Well, until I go inside a, a Swarovski crystal vase or something. And yes, I have told my husband, please just scatter. You can do a drive-by, honey. Just scatter a few of my ashes in the parking lot at the mall, at Nordstrom and Neiman's. Yeah, I didn't know that was the deal. God, I might not have signed up if I'd known that.
And I'm going to still be in your face, but instead of being truthful, I'm going to cut you all off with the facts. No, that's not how it goes.
No, that is exactly how it goes. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are, and where do you think you are? I know you and Batista Betty are like this. And there's a lovely, you look like you could use some sun. There's a lovely island not too far off the coast of Florida. The rental car company really sucks. You're going to have to deal with, a vehicle that's, well, at least 5 decades old. But they make a mean mojito, and it's very beautiful. Maybe that's, I don't think you'd have that problem there because, oh, that's right. You're not allowed to have the internet. It's state-run internet. Goodness. When you listen to idiots like this, it almost makes you wonder, like, God, are they onto something over there?
You need a continuation. Think about the woman that wrote the Harry Potter.
Oh God, this will go down in the Hall of Fame of some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard her say, and just people in general. She is now going to compare Dre McRae to J.K. Rowling. Honey, that's the name of the Harry Potter lady. Her name is J.K. Rowling. And like, do y'all remember? Oh, back in the day, let me tell you. Now, I've already disclosed that I was a big fan of professional wrestling when I was a kid. I know you wouldn't know it to look at me, but I had a brother, so that's what we'd watch on Saturday night. But believe it or not, I was also a huge fan of Dallas and Dynasty. And yes, I would watch it with my mother. You know what? Can somebody drop me a mess, slide into my DMs and let me know where I can catch up on the last, I don't know what, 30 years of Dallas and Dynasty episodes that I've missed. Because apparently once you have a successful, book or series in a TV show, or a tragedy in real life, well, you must keep that storyline going in perpetuity.
Books. She's got to continue somehow, correct?
Yep.
No,
Or
incorrect.
Is she gonna?
Hello, stop, shut up. It's incorrect. It is absolutely, positively incorrect. Yes, when you're a poser like you, who seems like the only thing you care about is money and want of or lack of or whatever. So you can't understand that J.K. Rowling, not only J.K. Rowling, but I dare say the rest of her bloodline for many, many, many generations, assuming the money is managed properly with, oh, you know, something tells me it is. Yeah, she never has to do another fucking thing in her life. Did you think Harry Potter was going to be in a friggin', we're going to get all the way to Harry in the, you know, the magical nursing home? No. God, you're an idiot.
Just write stories about what's been going on in, I don't know what school it was, the Harry Potter
Listen,
school.
why are you talking
not-
about I find it very interesting that this is the analogy she makes, despite the fact that she cannot tell you who wrote the book, and she doesn't seem to know the most basic details. In full disclosure, I had the Harry Potter books in my home because I had a young child who I know I started reading them to him, the first one, before he was, you know, I don't think he was old enough to read it himself. It's been so long ago. But even I know. Oh, I took him to the movies too to see the first one. But even I know it's called Hogwarts. Okay. I couldn't tell you much else about it. But I just find it very interesting. It kind of gives me a little peek into her psyche. That's the analogy she draws. I mean, that it wouldn't have been the one I drew. I find it interesting that she picks a book that's at best for young adults. But there's a lot of adults who liked it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But I just find it interesting that that's.
Tell us anything to tie up the loose ends?
She did tie up the loose
No.
ends.
Because you know what?
How many books followed the original Harry Potter? I know there was at least 2, possibly 3. Molly, believe it or not, there comes a point when, have you ever heard really famous singers? Frank Sinatra is one that comes to mind. Most of them will tell you, the ones who've had who've had a long, prolific, successful career, most of them will tell you that the song that might have put them on the map, like in Frank Sinatra's case, he absolutely hated singing New York, New York. One of the songs he's best known for. So, and that's a common thing. So it's just bizarre that she thinks. I don't know if she really believes this, then I don't know that she's firing on all systems though. Because it's just a dumb thing to say. It is absurd what she and what does a children's book series? That is, hey, Molly, I know you didn't know who wrote it and you didn't know the name of the school, but fuck, it just poop, that just left. Damn it. God, getting old sucks. It'll come back, and when it does, I will tell you. Damn it, what the hell was I going to say about that? I don't know. Shit.
Stop selling books. People will leave her high and dry. Most normal people.
It doesn't matter. Oh, that's what I was going to say. The Harry Potter series, Molly, you do realize that is, listen, I'm sure you've never read a book. That's what we call fiction. Okay? Dre McCrae, that's real. Why you're trying to make this analogy between the two is very strange and a very flawed premise. And yes, as I said a minute ago, J.K. Rowling never needs to touch another keyboard. She doesn't need to touch a pen. She doesn't have to do any of that. and neither do probably the rest of her generations of ancestors in perpetuity.
Would leave her high and dry. Because a normal
She doesn't give a
supporter-
shit.
I know a normal supporter of mine. I mean, I was accused of my freaking husband not sleeping in my freaking bed.
And who gives a shit? What? Why does that bother you? The lady doth protest too much. That's why I always say these people are very busy being not bothered while being very bothered, because you do not respond to things or give them oxygen when it's just absurd, ridiculous shit that doesn't matter. And newsflash, there's no way to prove something that isn't. So what difference does it make what people say?
My kid not being that I lost my son or some bullshit. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, now that is the one thing that I would address. Not me, but if I were her, because I don't bring my children or any of my family to YouTube for this kind of reason, because there's people like this that think they are entitled to pry into your personal life because you have a YouTube channel and you comment on their content. But I will give her that. Since she's already done all that, and something tells me that, I don't know. I wonder if her son, if she could go back and do a rewind, I wonder what her son would say if he was given the choice. Like, honey, are you okay if I become the subject of gossip at school, etc.? But something tells me he didn't get a choice. But since that ship has sailed and we can't, turn back time, well, not in this way. Yeah, I would, if I were her and someone said a heinous thing about my child, that I would address.
Can you imagine me holding a secret like that? That I was divorced from my husband?
Yes, I could. Because you, even though I have no use for you, I think you're gross. But that doesn't mean that I don't think you, just like everybody else, no matter how much you have shared, if you wanted to cut the, all mention or chatter with your family members, of course you're entitled to do that. And why wouldn't you? Like, Molly, I don't know if you've just been drinking your own Kool-Aid for too long, but you have some very backwards thought process. You think that what you do is what all of us, I guess, should do, and don't seem to understand that it's really not a good idea to share every aspect of your life. So to answer your question, yes, I think if you were divorced from your husband or you were getting divorced, etc., that is entirely within your rights to keep as confidential as you possibly can. God damn, like, I mean, am I wrong? What, like, I don't understand this. Why is this ain't rocket science. I don't get it. Hi, Mike. Yes, Mike always, it always does make me laugh when Mike says that Molly looks like Gary Busey, because he's not wrong. And incidentally, I do believe somebody that she's going to actually talk about in this video. I think she might have said she looked like Gary Busey. I'm pretty sure nobody's going to tell me I look like Gary Busey. At least I hope not.
I lost custody of my child. I never did anything wrong. I'm not a druggie. I'm not at Hogwarts. Yeah. I'm not
That's an interesting turn of phrase, because I don't think anybody's, well, I mean, I'm not going to say nobody's ever said that about her, because they have, but in this discussion, I don't think that was anything anybody was talking about. So there is that.
druggie.
Oh my goodness, that's an unfortunate. Oh, she looks a little different out in her natural environment.
Oh, God.
As the people like me, get out.
Get out.
Get out. Get this one. Get her out. Get her out. Get her out now.
Justin,
Dumb
sweet
whispers
pea.
out now.
Honey, I think class, I did go over my
Get out.
I did go over Justin, right? We touched on the like late 80s, early to mid 90s frosted hairdo he's rocking there. And that, oh God, Justin, I need you to commit, honey. I need you to either go soft, just, tasteful highlighting of your features, or full glam. Because right now you're giving me Mama from Mama's Family. Yeah, you're giving me like Carol Burnett vibes with this beat you're rocking here. I don't like it. And if Molly is greenlighting this, girl, she's doing to you what she did to Dan Bullscorn Betty with those hair extensions. Don't believe it, Justin. Do not believe it. Think Jeffree Star, not Carol Burnett, okay? I'm just trying to help you out here.
Don't ask any questions. You have no right to
Okay,
ask any
I'm sorry. I have to do this. I'm sorry to do it. Y'all, I need you to look at her cleavage. Do you understand why I said it looks like she's got a fat person's big fat ass sitting on her chest? And I'm still trying to wrap my mind around the fact that Molly, did you use your Amex Black card to pay for that, or did you use cash? Molly, that does not look like quality work. Okay. I know that I don't, no, I don't, I didn't want mine to look like, well, mine couldn't look like that, but those are like very pendulous looking, like, oh, weren't we just talking about Mama's Family? Yeah, think Vicki Lawrence, or like what my husband would call a tennis ball in a, oh, well, in her case, it would be a volleyball in a tube sock. Molly, it's not flattering. Girl, zip your top just a little bit. I mean, because then it might look like just, your average Walmart crackhead looking girl, skinny little thing wearing jeans that don't fit, and her thong is showing out the back when she bends over to get a case of cheese doodles. Yeah. Because then if you just something tasteful. I know you're bringing sexy back always, except Molly, it's just too much. It's too much. It's tacky. It really is. And listen, I'm all about some good, cleavage. That's just not good cleavage. Oh, she said her surgeon supersized those. Well, I can tell you this. You have a consult ahead of time, and they tell you what is and is not. Well, this is if you go to a surgeon that doesn't operate out of a strip mall center. If you go to a really good surgeon, they will spend quite a bit of time with you, explaining what, the idea is to take the natural shape. Because here's the newsflash, Molly. no matter how big you try and get those tits, your surgeon can only work with what you've already got. They can't, like, that's why I said I couldn't look like that. You have to, they can just enhance your own shape. I mean, they might be able to tweak it a little, but you don't just like go have an appointment, slap down your credit card, and then wake up and go, oh God, look what they did. No, it doesn't work that way. If you go to a reputable, decent surgeon, you definitely are told what's achievable. And I know in my case, the doctor said, we're going to go between, there was a 25 cc variation. There was going to be two choices. And he said to me, I will decide when I'm in there. Once I'm in, and because if anybody's ever watched TV, they shove that implant in there and then they sit you up on the table. Of course, you're completely unconscious. And, then they sit back and they look and then they're like, okay, try the other one on that side. I assure you that is probably multiple jobs, and not good ones. So, Sofa King, how are you? Hey, country girl, how you doing? I think that's a new name. If so, welcome. Woo! Oh God, I can't even read that one out loud. But I dare say you're probably right. Glow with glow. I have said multiple times. Those are what I call fat boobs. Like, and I truly, I was very surprised to hear that those were actually man-made. Because to me, they just look like fat girl boobs. I mean, I'm not saying she's a fat girl sitting there, but they just look like natural breasts on a bigger girl who's got pendulous, saggy boobs. Gravity's, she didn't listen to Jane Russell and use an 18-hour bra. In her case, she probably don't even use a 1.8-hour bra. Oh, God. Hey, Heather Smith, how are you? Heather B. Beachy, how you doing, girl? I stand with Queen Bee in heels. No comment on that comment. I'm sorry if anybody else came in and I missed you. Welcome and happy 4th of July. Okay, carrying on. But yeah, that's what I think when I look at her. It's like, damn, girl, it looks like you've got somebody's fat ass on your chest. Like, not, I thought, I don't know. I mean, no.
Probably already got her out.
It's not because of people like me. It's because of people like me that have exposed bad people.
Who the fuck are you? What are you? You're the police of the internet exposing bad people? Have you shined Betty's Klieg light down on her? I mean, a lot of people think she's a bad person. I can think of a lot of people if that's the business you're in. It couldn't have anything to do with money, though, could it? Is it? Because there is that little fact. You see, I have an easier time believing that someone is exposing bad people when they're not patting their internet wallet on the back of the people they're talking about. But that's just me.
And that's why they run from you, don't they?
No, I think the reason they run from you is because you use low down, dirty, sleazy, ratchet tactics to, much like your friend Bitchhole Betty, to try and intimidate and silence detractors into submission. That's why people run from you.
they were just, they were contacting my sister. They were like, do you realize who these people think your sister is?
And Molly, I'm not a bitch like you. You and I, we're not from the same. We're not cut from the same cloth. And no one should be contacting your sister, any of your family members. I don't condone that, even though I know you will proudly sit on any panel you can go on and tell everybody how you're gonna sick JLR on them. Really? But that doesn't mean that I would condone anyone reaching out or even attempting to reach out to any of your family or friends. I also have never gotten anyone fired from their job. Can you say that? I don't think so.
And my sister's like, yeah, they treat her like she's fucking one of the royal family.
I have no idea what that meant, what she just said. But I can assure you of this, honey. Nobody on earth is going to confuse you or anyone that I've seen of your family that was family you posted from. Oh, I think it was a little family get together not too long ago. Sweetie, take that off your plate. There's exactly no one that is ever going to confuse you or any of the family members you've already shown online and confuse them with, having anything to do with anyone royal. By the way, this isn't a monarchy over here. That's what we call that.
Celebrity? I said, yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
You are also not a celebrity. You have as much chance of your chances of being having you or a member of your family seen as royal are as good as your chances of someone thinking you are famous.
No, I don't take shit.
Sorry, you guys.
You don't put your whole life out on
No, we already talked about that.
to tie up the loose ends.
No, we talked about that.
Like that I was divorced from my husband.
Talked about that. Divorced from my
Don't ask
husband.
any questions. You have no right to ask any questions.
They probably already got her out.
Hold on.
It's not out. Get out. Don't ask any questions. You have no right to ask any questions.
They probably
Exactly. What do you need? Do you need us to draw a crayon drawing for you? I don't understand why this is so hard to understand.
Get out. Don't ask any questions. You have no right to ask any questions.
They probably already got her out.
And you're pathetic.
Out.
You and
You're
your
out now.
shitty fucking Carol
Who?
Burnett makeup and your bad frosted hair. You're pitiful, dude. God almighty. I miss the days of your caftans and when you seemed like a nice person.
Out now.
Get out. She's so
Get
dramatic.
out. Don't ask any questions. You have no right to ask any questions.
They probably
Molly, how many times do we have to go over this?
Get out. Get this
Okay.
one. Get her out. Get her out. Get her out now. Get
Who?
Forgotten Whispers out now.
Molly, girl, it is not polite when you are in someone else's house. You don't get to tell their guests to leave. What? Damn, girl. Do you know who Emily Post is? God, I'm sure you don't. Molly. Bad form. Very bad form. You don't do that. And what's Forgotten Whispers ever done to you? Are you okay with Forgotten Whispers, Uncle? Or is it anything that has the word forgotten or whispers? Okay.
Get out. Don't ask any questions. You have no right to ask any questions.
They probably already got her out.
Justin's like, God, bitch, calm down, would you please? Justin, I have a question. Is it exhausting? She just, I mean, she exhausts me just watching her and listening to her. So I know, like, IRL, it's gotta be, I mean, a lot of people think she carries your balls around in a Tom Ford shopping bag. There's just something so like, oh God. Like, I would love another good gay husband. And I'm nice. Like, I would never talk to my friend. No, I don't talk to my friends like that. So if you ever want to like come to the civilized side of the street, oh, wait a minute. I forgot. You and PG are like this. Never mind. Back it up. Move that bus on. Erase everything I just said. Never mind.
It's not because of people like me. It's because of people like me that have exposed bad people. And that's why they run from me, don't they?
No, we've already been over
And they were just, they were contacting my sister. They were like,
wrong.
do you realize who these people think your sister is?
People.
And my sister's like, yeah, they treat her like she's fucking one of the royal family.
No, she's not, for sure.
Or a fucking celebrity. I said, yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. I said, it's absolutely ridiculous. Don't worship me.
Molly, girl, let me tell you something. You need more help than an ousted YouTube life coach. Molly, let me explain how close you are to being a celebrity. Do you remember back in the day, Kathy Griffin, very funny woman. She had that show called My Life on the D List. I think it was on E. Molly, if we use Kathy Griffin and her show as, she called herself a D-list celebrity, and I don't think she was actually D-list, but she was C at best. Very funny woman. And I would definitely put her on a different list if we're just talking her, a stand-up. But as far as celebrity, if Kathy Griffin, who lived in Hollywood, considered herself a D-lister, which means in reality, she probably thought she was a C to a B minus. You know who you'd be in that sliding scale? Well, you'd be the assistant that got to walk her dog and pick up the dog shit before bringing the little pooch back to the loving arms of Kathy Griffin. And then going and getting her Starbucks order. Except I don't think she'd berate you like you berated your son when he got your Starbucks order wrong. But that is, if you want a real reality check as to your own importance or unimportance, Molly, you're just like all the rest of us rolling around out here. Okay, some of us just have better hair and are thinner and have better taste. But you are, I'll give you props for your wife swap episode and your undercover hooker show, I guess. But that is your best days are behind you in the fame department. That's the closest you ever got. It's the closest you're ever going to get. And anyone who thinks that a big mouth bitch who doesn't have enough sense to, doesn't understand there's some things you just don't say. That is nothing that even resides in the same galaxy or solar system as fame. And anyone who thinks you are famous, I would just say don't believe them. That's what I would say.
Like I'm some sort of god?
No, definitely not.
What they call
Hey, Molly,
hiding in the book.
I don't know if you've ever heard me say this before, but I say this a lot to Betty, and you're actually very much alike in many ways. You have much better hair, and you're much brighter. But let's sort of go a little further with this.
Bushes, that's not me. There's not enough money for me to be a fucking clip channel. There's a difference between me and the girls that make these clip channels. I actually get laid.
What exactly? Here we go again. Nobody, you bring a lot of things up that like nobody's talking about, unless, it happened earlier in the conversation, which I guess that could be the case. But I still, be that as it may, I see absolutely zero correlation between getting laid and being a clip channel. I mean, in my humble opinion, being a clip channel, well, they're doing the Lord's work here on YouTube. They are spending a whole lot of time suffering through people like you and this Mensa panel going on, so that people like me don't have to wade through hours and hours of bullshit. So I fail to see the correlation between the two. And I'm still waiting for someone to explain to me what is so objectionable about someone taking your content and doing what I'm doing. Molly, we're just having a discussion here, except it's much more civilized than you're used to having with people. And incidentally, I'm actually showing you more respect and speaking more civilly to you than you do to people like who you're actually real time communicating with. But whatever. As long as what's being clipped is not being, spliced and diced and then put back together, I do not understand the problem with it. I just don't. Could it be that, well, probably not. What I was going to say is, could it be that when you see yourself, after the words have left your mouth and are long forgotten, because when you say so much outrageous shit, it's clearly just a way of, that's just how you operate. That's how you move. So you don't think anything of it. You just think it's normal. So, I guess maybe when you see your words brought back to you in a smaller version, I don't know, like, do you and these others maybe sit back and go, oh God, that was not my finest hour? I mean, I do. There's been a couple times when I've said, oh, that was not my finest hour. But when I say that, it's because I said something that was tacky, not because I'm like a ratchet bitch who says disgusting, foul, vile shit. I mean, I'm just asking for a friend.
If you have to be a clip channel, then you got some problems.
Yeah, but her channel's dying a slow death and she deserves it. She's getting everything.
Remember that monkey we talked about, Betty, with the symbols? There you go. Molly's.
You know,
got
all
one
I
too.
did is I manifested. I just manifested anything that I had angry. I put it all in compartmentalized in one place, directed it directly at her. And I said, do what you need to do.
Did you hear about the lawsuit that Betty filed against Queen Bee and
Yeah,
Heels
that's
in
a
the
big
Air?
move.
I call her heels up her ass, but
I call you several things, but one thing I don't call you, well, I don't call you well dressed, that's for sure. I don't call you mature. I'm going to try and censor myself a bit here, but I would like somebody to ask Miss Veda Jade, what is Veda? I would actually submit to you the exact opposite. It takes a tremendous amount of creativity and devotion to put together these clips, to take you two cows up here droning on for God knows how long this was, and to be able to pull out the, you know, most pertinent, salient parts. Well, that takes more time and creativity than what I'm doing or what you're doing. Most definitely what you're doing.
Heels in the Air, if you know anything about her, which I do, I've known for a couple of months. She's an old.
You are a see you next Tuesday. And I could sit in this chair and I could say, oh, well, if you know anything about, what is this? Like, you notice Molly's like, all of a sudden we got the hands ringing. I could sit in this chair and I could say all kinds of shit about you that I know. I wish I could fully articulate how disgusting you are. You're a pig. You are a pig who has no class. You're never gonna have class. Ever, 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 ever. And you could never, let's just say you and I, we don't travel in the same circles. Molly, have you ever written a 6-figure check to fund a neighborhood endeavor, we'll just say? Have you ever done that? I get so sick of this sanctimonious poser bitches fucking YouTube internet gangster. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You show your ass so badly. I'm not a life coach. I don't have to be. To see someone who is wildly insecure, just like your buddy. Because normal people do not have to do what you so proudly do as a, oh, look at me, I'm better than you. Bitch, you want to play the fucking I'm better than you game? Let me tell you something. I don't use JLR investigates, okay? I don't do shit like that. But if I was gonna do shit like that, I promise you, JLR investigates. Let's just say his glass ceiling, it's a lot lower than the glass ceiling in the buildings that, I frequent.
Very old. She's like my mother's age. She's a very old woman.
Well,
who's very, very bitter.
Boy, I could say the same about you. And you do realize that a high school kid who, God forbid, if their parents were trying to torture them for some reason and made them watch you, Do you not think that it's all relative, sweetie? I tell you this all the time. It's all relative. You may have all of Krama on YouTube convinced that you're some high class, rich bitch. I see you for exactly what you are. So I'm sure somebody out here would look at you and say the exact same thing. She's an old, bitter bitch. And let's bear in mind that you notice she's not bringing any receipts. She's just going to throw a bunch of facts. Well, what she says are facts. Information. My bad. She's going to throw a bunch of information that she is asserting are facts. I believe if this bitch told me water was wet and the sun was hot, I would have to do my own independent research.
And
who cares? What difference does it make? I don't give a shit if she's 99 years old. She's not. But who cares if she is? Molly, do you realize that Heels in the Air is well loved and well respected by a whole lot of this community? I would say far more feel that way than feel like you do. Could it be that you're a bitter bitch because she just knows how to mine the gold from the clips?
she doesn't have anything.
What do you have? What do you have? Because if we're to believe PayPal Mal, you've got a bunch of shit that is leveraged that you don't own. You rent rooms in your house that you live in. Full stop. Tells me everything I need to know.
Owes a lot of money to a lot of people. She doesn't.
So fucking what? If she does, what does that have to do with anything? Do you owe a whole lot of money to people? I don't know, because I don't care. And I wouldn't cross my living room to look into you.
Your bills. She's been thrown out on the street a lot. She sells.
I would like to know how she thinks she knows this. How? Did this come from JLR Investigates? Did it come from Been Verified? Did it come from Bullscorn Betty? Like, who did you call up her neighbors? Like, how do you? To me, this is one of the shittiest, most bitch punk moves she can do. Because you noticed she comes with no receipts. Here's the good news for Heels in the Air and anybody else this bitch is going to malign. When you're a prolific liar, well, the beauty of it is, even if she is telling the truth, I know I wouldn't believe her. Where's the receipts? Because you are leveling some, I haven't heard anything yet that, and I am friends with Heels in the Air, like off of YouTube. And I can tell you, I don't care if every single thing you have said up to this point is the gospel truth. So, I've never stolen money from a stripper. You have. At least you were arrested for that and accused of it. Oh, and then wasn't there some shoplifting accusation with some mascara or something? And I think there's been a few more greatest hits as well. Like, who the fuck are you? And back to the original question, what difference does it make? Even if it is true. So that has exactly what to do with what? That has what to do with her using your words and every other clip channel. I mean, Molly, here's a thought. If you would just go the fuck away, nobody talk about you. But you need this like you need oxygen. This is your oxygen. This is how you get your validation. I'm sorry for you. That must suck.
Worthless knickknacks on Facebook, like she'll try to sell a fucking a gnome, a garden gnome.
Really? A garden gnome. And yet again, so what? But I would just point out that I'm pretty sure garden gnomes, I mean, I think you can buy them anywhere for what, less than $10, I would think. I don't know. I don't have garden gnomes. They are cute though. I mean, but it's not my aesthetic. But I fail to see why this, who cares? And how do you know? That's what's creepy. How do you know this? You guys, I'm sorry. I should have told you earlier. I'm not looking at the chat because I am in the other window. On StreamYard, I'm working on one screen on a desktop. So when I go to this other window so I can pause, I can't see the chat. So just know that I'm not ignoring you. It's just hard for me to jump back and forth. And you see, I'm pausing it quite frequently. So you're just to stay here.
She's got tons of addresses, more than the normal person. Also,
Molly, what is the normal person? How many addresses is okay to have in your book? I'm just wondering. And let me ask you this. If, let's just say that you've got like, maybe between, well, if you're a BIN verified detective, then I guess you're looking at, anybody that whoever you're looking at has ever like driven by their house and waved. But, I know you dirtbags like to, look into people's family and whatnot. So let me ask you this question. Does it matter? Like, let's just say in my case. So would it matter if, like, I maybe didn't have, or maybe I did have too many addresses in Molly's book. But here's my caveat. Let's say this. Let's say I had less addresses associated, or I'm sorry, let's say I had more address associated with me than Molly has. But here's caveat. What if the value of the real estate in my inner circle, we'll just say, well, what if one of their properties exceeded all of yours? So would that, like, would we shave off a few points for having too many addresses associated? Can we do that? Are we going for like price per square foot? Are we going for assessed value? Are we going for market value? Are we going for comps? How are we doing this? Well, actually, come to think of it, I promise you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it wouldn't matter. We could use all of those when making our adjustments, let's just say. And I promise you, yeah.
some forceful evictions. She's got a husband that wakes up. And
now, when you say forceful eviction, do you mean that, like, maybe the landlord said, listen, you're not paying your rent on time, or I just don't like you anymore, and I'm going to need you to leave? Or when you say forceful eviction, because the scenario I just said, well, that's a forceful eviction. If you are a tenant renting from someone and said someone does not want to, you want your property back, you don't want to renew their lease or their month to month or whatever the situation is, and you say, listen, I'm going to need you after whatever date to vacate the premises because I found someone else who's going to pay 3 times the rent. I don't know. So that could be a forceful eviction. Or are we talking like, hi, well, yes, ma'am. I know. Listen, I know. I've seen you on YouTube. I've heard you talk. Yes, I think you are a very bright woman. I don't know why you would think that it would be a better idea to have the sheriff knock on your door and say, okay, time to go. And, oh, you better get your, go to the U-Haul store because all your shit's going on the front yard in the next hour. So which is it? Like, because forceful eviction can mean anything. And, well, we'll just see.
And has to work in a jail.
Oh.
Remember, you're
well, goodness, Molly. I do believe you were trying to suck up to someone who worked in a jail. What was that you said? Didn't you say you'd give them your child or some such strange thing? Of course, you were 3 sheets to the wind. So I don't hold that very stupid statement against you. I mean, I've never said anything like that. I wouldn't trade any of my family for anything, but I know you were 3 sheets to the wind. So don't worry about that one. But goodness, you were you were up close and personal with some people who worked in the jail, at least the holding cell. So, but Molly, you would agree that being a corrections officer is, you're making it sound like it's some kind of scandalous job. I mean, truthfully, it's a very tough job that they don't get paid enough money for because they have to deal with the scourge of the earth. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not sure why you're trying to shame someone for working in a jail. Because what would we do if we didn't have people to staff the jails where we put the uncivilized animals that, can't behave like the rest of us?
product of your own environment. When you go to jail, when you go,
Molly, typically when one says you're a product of your own environment, the old nature nurture debate. Well, typically that references one's formative years, not their job. That is one of the dumber points that she tries to make in this. Oh my God.
go to a jail to work, that takes a lot on your mental. You're standing in one place and you could be attacked at any time. It's a vulnerable position. It's a tedious position. It's a repetitious, boring job.
My goodness. Now, see, no, Molly, I can't dance with you on that. A boring job. My God, I would submit the exact opposite. I think it's a job that's far too not boring. I mean, you are amongst liars, thieves, murderers, rapists. I mean, oh yes, that is so boring. I mean, I know it's not as exciting as being a tragedy pimp, head of, Omerta Tragedy Pimps Inc. But, God, Molly, it's a dirty job. Somebody's got to do it.
And guess what? She probably is living with a man that's probably not really all there, or is probably very, very angry, and she's probably angry about it herself.
Huh?
Yeah, she's like 70. She's really old.
So what? And bitch, if you're lucky, you're going to get to be really old. And some amoral, tacky fat bitch might be sitting on a live stream telling the whole world that she's so old. I mean, do you not have any relatives that are old, Molly? I hope you do. But I mean, it's a mark of, I mean, for me, I'm sorry. I don't make, this is not these stupid things that you're just, this is the real life, literal version of the proverbial throw it at the wall and see if it sticks. I mean, you've tried to income shame her. You've tried to employment shame her. You've tried to I don't even know what the hell you'd call it. Class shame her, habitat shame her. And now she's too old. I mean, I'm sorry. These are not thinking person's arguments. I mean, truly, if the big, like, round, pretty light up ship landed in the backyard and you had a minute or less to sum it up and to explain why this person that you're going to tell the little green people about, why she is apparently the Antichrist, this is what you're going to tell them? She sells garden gnomes on Facebook. Her husband works in a jail. She's had a lot of addresses. Oh my God. Yeah. That's not going to, no, those aren't going to be my points.
I didn't know she was that old.
My God, yes.
I could tell by her voice that she was, but I wasn't for sure.
And you know what I can tell by a lot of things that you do, not just your voice, because I actually think Veda has a nice sounding voice. It's too bad that so much drivel comes out of it. But Molly, on the other hand, I cannot stand the sound of that bitch's voice. Meet a hard consonant. Find a diction class. You got a lot of time on your hands, apparently. So I don't know. Go improve yourself. Because let me tell you something, sweetie. Would you like me to point out all the things I think you should work on? And I don't need to go to a convicted felon and have him, like, do a been verified fucking private eye detective search on you. No, I don't need any of that. So, there's that.
The only people that don't stalk me are my patrons.
I don't know anybody who stalks you. And if you'd ever had a real life stalker before, you wouldn't be so flippant with that term, because making yourself the laughing stock of this little ghetto housing project of YouTube. Oh, which, by the way, I keep forgetting, she doesn't even have a channel here anymore. She's not even supposed to be here. So there's that. But if you think that I'm sitting in this chair and I've been running, let's see how long here. I've been going an hour and 48 minutes. We'll say I was an hour, and we'll just say, let's call it an hour and a half. I've been strictly almost 8 minutes into this. It's 7 minutes, 59 seconds. So I've gotten an hour and a half of commentary, a conversation that I'm having with you, Molly, and you too, Veda. Is that stalking? No. In fact, I would tell you, I don't ever want to be any place you are. But, if you insist on coming and spreading your little brand of misery around here, well, we all have the right to do commentary on it.
They don't get They don't get starstruck when they meet me. They don't get
starstruck from you because, yet again, you are not famous. You're not a celebrity. You're infamous in this sector of YouTube. That is a far cry from being. Why exactly would anyone be starstruck by you? I dare say that if they saw you out in public, unless you were wearing your glasses, oh Molly, I wore these for you. I have other lovely cheaters, but since I was talking about you, I thought, well, this is my own. Oh, and I did bring in a Tom Ford lipstick that I'm actually wearing. I didn't do that for you, but I just, since you seem to think that anything made by this man right here, which incidentally, Molly, I would submit that, girl, can you wear a Tom Ford dress? I would say, no, you cannot. Tom Ford doesn't make a dress, pumpkin, that would go over those silky milkies. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, you don't have the physique for Tom Ford. I, on the other hand, do. Yeah, I'm actually like what they call sample size. But even I, have issues with the top because, when the top is a little bigger than the bottom, usually it's the opposite for most women. But, be that as it may, it can be, I go between a 0 and a 2. And sometimes when you get it to fit up here, it doesn't fit down here because it's too big here and maybe just right there. So, the struggle's real, girl. What can I tell you? But yeah, you're not famous. That's why nobody gets starstruck. And if they do, then I would say they need to get out more.
Clingy when they see me. They don't do that.
Most people would think that's a good thing.
The thing is I think that people should really take more advantage of the sessions.
Oh, she's pimping her life coaching services.
I can help you.
This is fascinating to me. I don't know whether to give her an attaboy or suggest intensive therapy, but not the variety that she would like you to believe she dishes out. It is fascinating to me that a woman who behaves like this, who has the social media, we'll just call it a catalog, and some of her real life antics, thinks that she is like that. People take it seriously when she says she's a life coach. Molly, I guess I'm a life coach too, because I've been giving you lots of advice on here. I've given Jada some. I've given all kinds of people advice on here. And I'm sure plenty of people have given me advice. I may not even know it. But, is there a life coaching school? Do you get a degree in life coaching? Or is by virtue of the fact that, you've made it to this far in life, I'm slightly older than you. Does that count? Can I be a life coach because I've managed to not be a convicted felon and reach the age that I am? Does that count? Just wondering. And I know you like to throw your husband around all the time. I also have a brilliant husband. Yeah. Does your husband have a doctorate? Mine does. And my husband's worked in the same job for over 30 years. And here's the good news. There's not a damn thing. My husband could light someone on fire in the parking lot of his job. And I promise you, he wouldn't get fired.
You go back to the gym. I can help you if you're stuck in a career you don't.
Did she just say she can help you get back into the gym? Molly, that's a bridge too far, girl. I mean, you do not, I mean, despite the fact that you own that lovely, like, Lululemon hefty bag looking sausage casing that you love so much, girl, I'm calling bullshit on the gym. You do not look like you have met a gym any time of late. And I ain't hating on you, girl, because I never go to the gym. I haven't been to a gym in decades. But, you know, well, I did work out with a personal trainer probably. Oh, it's been a little less than a decade ago, but I didn't stick with that.
Want to be in. I can help you get out of a relationship you don't want to be in.
Can you help someone get into a relationship they do want to be in? That's because to me, that would be the better skill. Because anybody can give some numbnut, you know, tips on how to get out of a bad relationship. Oh, well, I don't know. It starts usually with a cardboard box or a suitcase. And, you know, then we go from there. So I would say that if you can get them into the relationship of their dreams, that would be that would be something to put on your resume.
I've had a lot of Patreons just give me the money every single month.
Well, you're a star.
Still trying to ask for money? You still trying to ask for money? You still trying to?
I quite proudly don't ask anyone besides my husband for money.
Money.
For
Yeah,
years, and then 3 years later say, okay, now I need to talk to you. And I'm like, what's going on? And then they'll be like, pow, and I'll be like, wait, what? And it goes beyond life coaching. It goes like, I need a therapist or I'm gonna go crazy.
Well, then you are not the person to call. If they need a therapist, Molly, my goodness, did you and Betty go to the same college? Or is this part of the YouTube, like, be all that you pretend to be? Kind of like, what was that? Was that the Army? Or the Navy? Well, wait, no, the Marines. Be all that you can't be. You know, that old commercial, be all that you can be. Well, I kind of tweaked it a little bit for YouTube. I call it be all you pretend to be.
Stories.
Oh Lord, how do you deal with that? Well, you are a life coach, so you would.
Jada, Pumpkin. We're all life coaches. If you've ever had a friend, and you know, you and your friend, and I don't mean like somebody that you're being a sycophant for. On here, we got to dumb it down a little. We call it a simp. But sycophant is the more appropriate term. No, I mean like real life. Like, you know, you and your, you know, maybe you meet up with your girlfriend at the Cheesecake Factory and you're, oh God, I used to love those damn fresh strawberry infused martinis. And they would put sugar on the rim of the glass. Oh my God, fantastic. They would muddle strawberries and just straight vodka and shake the shit out of it and pour it in that frosted martini glass with the sugar rim. Damn. No, nowadays everybody likes all that fake. Ugh. No, give me a good old school. I don't know if Cheesecake Factory still does it that way, but they used to. And yeah, you know, you meet your girls and you're kikiing about life. This one wants to break up with her boyfriend. This one might want a new job, the kids, blah, blah, blah. Sweetie, that's being a life coach.
How many of y'all have heard about the lawsuit going on between Bullhorn Betty and
Beta? The better question would be raise your hand if you haven't heard it. And here we go. Molly is so like, now you notice, Molly sat there just running her pie hole for the last, well, we're at 9:30 now. So let's say 9 minutes. Molly has run her pie hole for 9 minutes, barely coming up for air. And Veda has not said jack shit. Molly has been almost uninterrupted for 9 minutes. And here, when her favorite little sycophant begins to opine on wherever she's going with this, what does Molly do? Well, Molly is so, she's just enraptured with what Veda's getting ready to say. She's so on the edge of her seat, fascinated, that she promptly gets up and goes into the kitchen. I mean, Veda, honey, I'm embarrassed for you. My God.
And what's her name? Feels in the air and clean. What y'all's thoughts about that?
All I have to say about that is if Queen Bee and Heels had any common sense, they would just reach out to Betty and say, I got your notification and I am going to take my videos down and I'm no longer going to talk about you.
I don't know what she said at the end, but now, Molly, come on, girl, have you met Betty, for God's sake? You know no. Listen, you know Betty, Batista Betty. She's a cross between, well, I see her as like, instead of Build-A-Bear, think like build a maniacal communist dictator, or maybe a fascist. Oh, take mainly communism, throw a dash of fascism in there. I mean, let's build our dictator. We'll take Hugo Chavez, we'll take Batista, we'll take a dash of Castro, we'll take some Mussolini, and then we'll put a really tragic, damaged wig on top of their head, and we'll say, meet the latest addition to the Hall of Fame of dictators, Bull Scorn Betty. I mean, Molly, come on. It's a bitch move. It's a bitch move, and it's a bitch move. And all the grimy shit Molly's done, I don't think Molly's ever sued anybody from YouTube.
I think that's what I think Heels should.
I think that Veda, I don't really give a shit about you. I'm just using you, Veda. Okay. I think that you're irrelevant to me and I don't care about what you have to say. Okay, Veda. This is about me, Veda. You're just the vehicle that I'm using to get where I'm trying to go at this moment.
Probably do. It isn't her best interest. But as far as this Queen Bee goes, I know for a fact, because I can see it happening. Here you go, baby. I know for a fact,
Talk to me.
because I've seen it. I believe Queen Bee is going to go down, and it's going to be her own people that take her out. Diane.
Oh, I don't know Diane, but I do know that just a little bit of like, very, oh, damn it. The hell? Oh, dang it. I think when I drank tea this morning, I had my hair down and oh no. I got a little bit of my hair fell in the tea and I had honey in it and it's sticky. It's almost out. Hold on. Hold, please. Okay. Yeah, all I know about the Diane thing is I think it was like it was a financial scandal kind of deal.
Style.
We'd love to know how she.
And I cannot wait until that one channel, that one clip channel, when they find you. I can't wait until Jonathan finds you. You know who you are. Who thinks that you're going to expose everybody, but you don't want any ramifications of them finding out. Be careful.
I have no idea who she's talking about. I don't. Heels in the Air doesn't do shit like that. No, listen, I don't know anybody who does shit like that. So whoever she's speaking of, I don't know.
Be careful, because every time anyone's ever said that, they've been found. You think
I mean, Molly, do you think that you're some kind of a visionary who is telling? I think we all know that whether you show your face or not, if some nutbag is determined to find you, more than likely, if they're really dedicated, they're going to. But thanks for the newsflash. But you know what people like you count on is, you apparently you got used to being like, I don't know, a big fish in a little teeny weeny tiny aquarium. And you seem to think that your weight has some real, like, you have just never come up against the right one yet. I mean, everybody, this is why these people make me crazy. They drink their own Kool-Aid and they carry on.
you're gonna fucking pass judgment? Laura already called you out, didn't she? Didn't she call you out? Laura, I can't wait until your fucking information is doxed all over the place. And you think it's your job
Is
to
she?
freaking
She's not talking to Laura right now, right? Is she talking to the channel that Laura said she knew somebody who was paying big bucks for a picture of? Is that who she's talking about? I'm thinking that's who she's talking about. Wow. Okay.
expose people, and you think you're gonna hide because of the sake of your family? Watch and see how that works out.
Man, I mean, I don't know about you, but from where I'm sitting, that really sounds like she is it's kind of like bordering on extortion. I mean, when you attempt to either stop someone from an action, and let's like keep this in perspective, this is YouTube. This is all lawful, making videos, using people's content that they put out for consumption. It's all like legal and within the terms of service of YouTube. So, I mean, from where I sit, I mean, I'm not a jailhouse lawyer like Betty is, but I mean, to me, when you threaten someone, threaten-ish, because we all see what you're doing here. I mean, why would you be saying this if that's not what you were doing? I mean, I don't do things like that. So if you are trying to intimidate or bully or allude to something happening to someone's family, if they continue an action or don't start doing some action, I mean, whether it's lawful or not, it's grimy as hell. And it's just gross. And it's exactly what I would expect from you.
That's worked out for no one.
Nope.
Zero.
Did you hear what Veda said on?
I have to say, I am kind of confused as to what she's speaking about there. Because when she keeps saying that has worked out for no one, I don't know what that means. And we are almost done with this.
Steve, up on panel with Steve at EKC the other night. I mean, I know without a crystal ball.
Oh, there's Kathy B.
I can't listen to
Oh,
her.
look, there's.
I'm no fan.
Yeah, I only watched one
But
stream,
she
and that
said-
was
She said that Katie Joy is the reason God created miscarriages.
Well, that's just
That's not even the worst thing she said.
Sweet, you
This
need to
is
log
the kind
off.
of content this girl is putting out. That's what she does. She
Yeah.
sits there, cusses, swears, and insults.
Oh yeah.
and
Right.
That's
it's
all
true.
ridiculous.
She's all
Never
twisted
shows her
up.
Well, I guess somebody else said something about my cousin. My bad. I don't care.
Listen, Jada, girl, you cuss a blue streak. I don't care. Listen, the way we all choose to speak, that is a reflection solely on the person who's speaking. It doesn't, I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I guess I haven't listened to you enough because I've never heard her. Is she a really prolific, like is every word profanity? Because that's not what I've heard, but I have listened to very little of her. But even if it is, even if she does cuss a lot, I mean, why would anybody care, Veda? I mean, besides to say it's not very, I mean, I just know for me personally, I try and here's the thing. If you take a word that usually has a pretty strong connotation associated with it, and you make it part of your everyday, like it's you just say it all day for every reason under the sun. Well, it kind of like it gets watered down. So, I mean, I know for me, I just personally, I don't want anybody to watch me and say, oh my God, it's like she has some good thoughts, but God, I just can't stand to listen to her because all she does is cuss. I'm pretty sure that's all it meant, Veda. Like, ugh. Not everything is a condemnation of you, Veda.
I don't care what this bitch says anyway.
Oh, yeah, we can tell. That's great. I'm sorry.
Did she literally say I don't put receipts of anything? What the hell do you think I do on my channel? I spend 10 hours.
Honestly, I have no idea what you do on your channel because I've never watched your channel. I've seen you on the clip channels. That's the most I've ever seen from you. So before this incident, this panel that I talked about last week, the only thing I knew about you is that they called you Veda Potato and Tube Top Tammy. And I actually had to say, who the hell is Tube Top Tammy? And when someone sent me a clip of you reviewing me, I guess, I reached out to you, which incidentally, I didn't watch. I didn't watch it past the first, not even 30 seconds. As soon as I heard you say, this lady doesn't like me, I decided, oh, well, I don't want her to think that because I really didn't know anything about you except the very general gossip that you're very desperate. Like you're a prolific, allegedly, many people say that you are a prolific, like just email bombing people. And just based on the book you sent me back after my very short and kind comment I left to you telling you that, I'm sorry if you got the impression that I had something against you personally, blah, blah, blah. So other than that, and then I got a taste of somebody clipping you and you were talking about somebody that I like. And, unfortunately, the clips I've seen they don't paint you in a flattering light. So
A string getting one ready. Do you think I sit up here and talk like I did today for the first time? Find one string where I've done that and not showed something.
I don't know. I don't have any interest in what you talk about, the Marvon situation. So I don't care. But I tell you what, anyone who would tell another woman that they are the reason God made miscarriages, you're perhaps not built for this. Because that is, unless that person that you are saying that to caused you some personal, you or your family, some personal harm, either physically, psychologically, or financially, that is such a disproportionate reaction to say to someone that you don't know. That's just foul. Anybody
Yeah,
who would say such a thing, like,
Oh, that lady's smart.
she needs to get a little perspective.
I agree.
I heard her
How do
say
you-
That's what all smart people do when they, make an asshole out of themselves. Oh, yes, double down, triple down, quadruple down.
Mm.
Yes, whatever you do, do not admit ever that you were wrong. Let me give you a little piece of advice from a grown woman who's got a mental, although I'm not that much older than your buddy that you worship at the altar of for whatever reason. Let me give you a little piece of mature woman advice. It is the mark of a mature person, no matter what your age is. We all make mistakes. We all say things that we shouldn't say to varying degrees. Most people are very forgiving and will give latitude to someone who can be an adult and just say, I made a mistake and I'm sorry. But doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down, it's very hard to respect that.
And
Was
she
it-
saved me from having to react to what's her name? Down the rabbit hole and the other one. Don't mess in the bedroom.
Classy, Veda. Very classy. I'm curious, how much education do you have, Veda? I mean, if you share that kind of thing, does anybody know what her career is? And that, honey, I know it's hot, so I'm not going to tell you got to put long sleeves on or even a cap sleeve. Oh, please don't do a cap sleeve. But spaghetti straps, they're not your friend. It's not a personal condemnation. It's just not your best look. Oh, thank God that is over. God almighty. The Lord has taken mercy on us and made it end. Hey, independent thinker, how are you? Happy 4th of July. Hey, SoFlo, did I say hi to you? TT the good Tiffany. Frankie's mom. Oh, you guys got them. Hey, Mitten Mama, how are ya? Isn't it? I mean, God almighty. I was just scrolling up through the comments. Well, I'm really not sad that torture is done, and I just, wow. I don't know what it is with, well, I do know what it is. I mean, in my my YouTube doctor opinion, there really is. There's a lot of commonalities with these people. If this, make it stop. Well, you guys, I in the words of Veda, she said the other day, I did what I came to YouTube to do. Well, like, I didn't come here with any kind of mission statement. Oh yeah, remember the mission statement we talked about? Yeah, I didn't come here to do any of that shit. No, I'm just here. It's a hobby. That's all. I'm not here to try and out anybody's personal life. I don't. I just, like, I cannot imagine caring enough about these people? Why? I completely understand getting twisted up because somebody said something about you that, it's not nice. It's not blah, blah, blah. We all do it. But those of us who are wrap tight, like, we don't look at this as the Hunger Games. You're clowning people. Hey, Running Bear, how you doing? I mean, I guess what I'm getting at is there's no ill will. There's no real malice behind it. I point out people's outrageous, ridiculous, stupid shit they say. And I'm sure there's somebody sitting in their office doing the same thing to me. Although it's going to be a little harder. I mean, it just is. So I don't know. I guess it's just the nature of the beast, but I'm still waiting. In fact, I would love it if one of these people would come explain to me what is it that is so objectionable about your own words being clipped. Hold on, y'all. Oh God, it's just nonstop. Let's see. Temu. Still haven't bought anything. I'm still just perusing. Oh God, I lost several hours of my life the other day to that. Sophia Webster. Thanks, Sophia. You've been blowing me up. Allison Olivia. Thank you kindly. Okay. Sorry. There was one that was important. Yeah, so I would love to hear from. Listen, I would give any of these people an invitation to come and come tell me why you're so, how you get so twisted up over your own words. That I will never understand that. I understand regretting that words left your mouth. I understand being embarrassed. I understand feeling misunderstood. And on and on. I can understand all kinds of things. What I can't understand is thinking you are some kind of gangster bitch, and most especially when you're not even supposed to be on this platform. I mean, I guess I do believe it is permissible for her to be appearing as guest. But guest doesn't mean that you're on every single day for hours at a time on various channels, because at that point you may as well have your own channel back. And Veda, girl, you might want to take a look at that part of the clip where, I mean, you definitely were giving a lot of deference to Miss Molly Golightly, and you let her talk for about 9 minutes uninterrupted. I mean, you might have made a remark here or there, but very little interjection from you. And Veda, it's not a coincidence that when she finally came up for air and it was your turn to speak on, I'm assuming it was your channel. What did she do? She probably got up and walked out of the room. And not only did she walk out of the room, she sounded like she was doing something in her kitchen. Yeah, not by accident. Yeah, Veda, she doesn't give a shit about you. And frankly, I mean, I don't either. I don't wish anything bad for you, but just as I'm sure you don't care about me. Like, you're irrelevant to me, and I'm sure I'm irrelevant to you. And that's how it should be. So, but hopefully you will ponder how your interactions with your buddy. There's no skin off my nose. I don't care what you do. But I would just, the best indicator of future behavior is past behavior. And she's got quite a well, there's a trail of screen names in her wake. I wonder if her real life is littered with people. Most, especially when you get older, you don't like, you don't collect people. You unless you're a transactional person. And listen, a lot of people are, especially in this day and age. I am not. If I am your friend in real life, you are going to have to work real hard to not be my friend forever. The friends I have, I've had forever. Except the one that was, my best friend of 30 years, who's no longer here. But that's the only reason why. So, I don't know. Do you think you and Molly will be talking in 30 years? Well, Molly will be in a nursing home, I would imagine, if she makes it that far, or I don't know, maybe she'll be the model for a garden gnome somewhere. I don't know. All right, everybody. Hey, Revival. Hi, Revival. Bye, Revival. Yes, everybody, please. I want you to come back with all your digits, all 20 of them, your phalanges and your metatarsals. I want you to come back with all of them intact. So please be careful. I know that here, what is this, Tuesday? 4th of July is not going to be over in my neck of the woods until, I would say realistically, next Monday it'll be done, because we'll obviously have tonight. And up here, you guys, because I'm in the sticks, I mean, here you hear gunshots, just like, that's almost every night or every day. It's just common because everyone out here has acreage, and it's just what people do. I mean, but not only will there be the fireworks, they make pipe bombs out here. Like, it's gonna sound like the Civil War, probably. If the past is any indication, and I'm quite sure it is. And I don't think we're expected to have any rain, not where I am. And if we are, you can tell it by looking at it outside now. I did hear, I think it was Jones, and I was listening to earlier this morning, and she just talked about how damn hot it was in Georgia. And I feel you, girl. I do not, like, we're having the family over, but we're not doing it. It's going to be I'm blessed. My family all lives fairly close, and they're over here all the time anyway. So honestly, this is just like, it's, it's another get together. But yeah, I have no desire to be outside. It is just heinous, the heat. So, oh, Heather, you have a great holiday. And everybody else too. Be safe, you guys. And tomorrow's Wednesday. I think Friday's a no-go. I think I have appointments, a few of them on Friday. So I don't know. We'll see. Possibly tomorrow or Thursday. Oh, hey, Clancy. I'm sorry. Damn, you just got here. Okay. Now, since I busted his balls, I'm gonna have to stick around for a minute. Hondo, did you come to teach me how to catch a fish? Are we gonna grill a fish for the 4th of July? Oh God. Yes. Yeah, Miami. Depending on what neck of the woods you were in down there. Did we go over that? Were you near God, what do they call it? Oh, Liberty City. Woo! That's that's an all the time occasion. I'm not touching that one with a damn pole. Do you remember, you know what that reminds me of? Do you remember that brand back in, well, I must have been in middle school, maybe high school. Hot tuna. Do you remember that brand of surf? And then there was Jimmy Z. What the hell? And Maui and Sons. Do you remember all that? My God, that was like, that was surfer stuff. There was something else too that I'm not remembering. Oh, did you guys? I don't know why I never get notifications for Jenny Jen. Not that I should need notifications. I mean, hell, it's like, listen, bitch, it's every Monday or when is it? Sunday and Wednesday. That's my excuse is God. Half the time I don't even know what damn day it is. Oh, listen, it's still bad there. It is still. Oh, yep, Hang 10. I remember that. What was another one? I loved Maui and Sons. And yeah, Jimmy Z. I think I actually saw. Yep, those were the big old brands back in the day. Well, Clancy, I don't know, you guys, I'm sure it's not very patriotic, but let's just say, I'm pretty sure when my kid was, he was probably about 10. And I looked over at my girlfriend, and we were lucky because where we lived, all you had to do was walk like, I don't know, maybe the equivalent of, well, I'm not going to do it in city blocks. I'll do it in minutes. All you had to do was walk about 5 to 7 minutes in the neighborhood. Just all you had to do was cross the street. There was a golf course, and then you cross the other direction, and there was the water. And you could sit on the seawall, and you could watch the huge firework display from the beach. And I'm pretty sure, well, I know for a fact, I'm pretty sure I did. But I think my son was about 10. I looked over at my girlfriend and I said, I don't know about you, but if I never see another firework as long as I live, I'm good. And we walked. It wasn't even like, listen, bitch, you got to get in the car. You got to put the kids in. Oh, no. I don't know. I don't care about fireworks. Yeah, we would take like It was funny because my son had one of those red plastic radio flyer wagons, but you know, the cool plastic ones, not the old rickety ass metal one from the kid with the BB gun. What was that movie called? Was it Christmas Story or something? You know, when you have kids, you find out early on that just because they don't need the wagon anymore to travel in, well, it's really good for putting your wine and your bucket of ice in. I have to say, we had a great neighborhood where we lived in a place where people would actually bus in to come to our neighborhood because a lot of the people gave out full-size candy bars. So it was fun. Like, people would have elaborate haunted houses like in their garages and whatnot. It was just fun, Halloween. And yeah, we'd take the kids. We'd only have to walk around a couple blocks, and we would, you know, pull the plastic wagon with all your party supplies in it. I didn't get rid of that damn wagon. Oh God. I think, well, when I moved, that's when I got rid of it. And that was kind of like, well, let's just say that wagon, well, hell, that wagon stuck around longer than like one of my husbands. Oh. You know, you've got to, you have to repurpose things. I was one of the original, like, repurposers, we'll say. It's funny, I think about the things I got rid of and then the things I kept. And that damn wagon was one. And I'm pretty sure I told my son that the wagon is finally, like, the wagon is retiring. Do you want it for the Hall of Fame? Do you want to bronze it or something? Or should I just donate it? I mean, I actually remember using that wagon. Now, here's a little story I'll tell you. It's going to be quick. And you guys are not going to believe me. And I know this is only because you decided to come in at the last hour as I was getting ready to leave. But I busted your balls, so I don't feel right just exiting the building the minute you walk in. So, and I'm old and I already forgot the story. Oh, no, here. Another thing I did with the wagon. Now, this is going to be hard to believe. I actually, I didn't do it myself, but I helped lay a brick driveway one time. And when I say I helped, I mean I pulled the wagon from the garage. You know, I had a very long driveway that was, you know, I had a detached garage. And yeah, I mean, y'all didn't think I was going to tell you that I was like slinging bricks, did you? No, I gave moral support. I gave moral support and direction. You know, I'm kind of like the party planner. I was giving what I was trying to couch as helpful, you know, helpful. What, you know, don't you think that might, when it was really a directive, but you know, you have to try, and it's all in the way you say things. Oh, well, thanks, Hondo. You mean for being old as dirt? Yeah. I mean, you know, I don't borrow Betty's Klieg light. I have a little tiny ring light. It's just the luck of the draw, truly. Well, it's the luck of the draw, a little bit of Botox, a little bit of Juvederm, but no scalpel. Think syringe in the face, not anywhere else. And you know, just no syringes, no scalpels, and just genetics. My grandmother lived to be 100. I'm the jury's still out on whether or not I want to live to be 100. Tell you what, though, my grandmother looked damn good, and I will tell you that anytime, like, you know, and honestly, she lived alone until she was in her 90s. And I will say that she had about 95 really good years, but she never drove a car. She never swam. She never went in the sun. She never smoked a cigarette. She never drank. She had a sheltered life. But the first thing people would see or ask when they met her, once she went into a home and couldn't live in her own home anymore, typically the first thing they would say is, she's how old? And then the next thing would be, she have facelift? Never, never, ever, ever. I mean, my grandmother would, I'd have an easier time believing that she turned into a unicorn. I don't have the same particular philosophy, but different times. Are we going to go over the Maya? Oh, so flow. We did what, 3 episodes? I kind of bit off more than I can chew on that one. I definitely want to talk about when Maya does, or Natalia, what the hell am I calling her Maya? Oh, because So Flo called her Maya. Oh, Hondo, do you remember when I told you I had an idea for an episode that I want to do with you? Because a lot of us, like me, we don't know a lot of the story and the history with a lot of these people. But you do. Like this Diane woman. I said earlier that Big Mouth Molly said something about Diane. And I said, I don't know the backstory on that. There are people that are still around, or there are people whose names are still mentioned that, if you haven't been here a long time, you don't know. So I would love to have when's the last time you were in Florida? When you were here, did they have 1-800-ASK Gary? We could do like an Ask 1-800-ASK Gary, 1-800-ASK Hondo. Hondo and Jaja answer all your. Gosh, we could do I don't know. I just know I'd love to get some of the backstory. Jenny knows more. Okay. Well, how long have you? So they're not the same thing. Well, yeah, no, they're not the same thing. Okay. Oh, so your hood has the secret superpowers kind of deal, right? I'm sure you know what I'm saying. Oh, okay. Well, do you remember 1-800-ASK Gary? Ask Gary. God dang, Gary got filthy ass rich. Get 1-800-ASK Gary for people who don't know. Sorry, or I don't think it's around anymore. Or if it is, he doesn't. He doesn't have to advertise anymore because he just kind of became part of the lexicon here in Florida. It was like a lawyer referral service. So not just a lawyer, like everything. It was like a network of what do we call that? Ambulance chasers. Yeah. So if you, yeah, no, I know what Boyd is. I just know I've always heard it rumored that the Boyd, let's just say maybe has a lot of techie people. That's what I meant when I said the. Oh, self-love, home goods. Oh God. Yeah, I've been doing so good. I've been going to my support. Listen, you guys, honest to God, swear to God, this is true. It's going to sound absurd. My little YouTube hobby, it is actually kind of like my shopping support group. The more time I spend on YouTube, the less time I have to shop. And I swear to you, that is, it's, you know, in a long line of pluses and minuses. Oh, it's a strong plus. And it really does offset several minuses. But yeah, there's, my credit card does not necessarily start weeping anymore when I come within a block of a Home Goods or, you know, those other stores. Listen, there's only a few stores I'm not a fan of. But even there, I could find something to buy. I don't go to Dollar General. I try to never go to Walmart, but it is a necessary evil. You do have to go there sometimes. But listen, I am the person who, when I went to Las Vegas for, I don't know, the third time, I never need to go again. It was a girls' trip, and we both wanted to go to the Grand Canyon, to the Sky Rim. Now, I've been in the Grand Canyon a few times before, but I have never been to Sky Rim, which is the glass bridge. It's shaped like a horseshoe. It's all glass, and you have to wait quite a while in a line. Not by any mistake, once you get to the front of the line and it's getting close to being your turn, because you can only go out in groups of, well, it's like your party, which can't exceed, I don't know how many, but you have to remove your shoes. You have to put everything that comes with you into a locker. Now, you know, it's glass. So of course, my first thought is, oh, well, I get it. Like, you know, it wouldn't be me, but some dumb bitch would come out here in her stilettos. I mean, that would have been me when I was in high school, possibly my mid-20s, maybe late 20s. Well, shit, maybe last week. I don't know. No, even I wouldn't go to the Grand Canyon in stilettos, but I have been known to wear some inappropriate footwear, let's just say. But, you know, now I use that to help me not stay places as long as I would stay if I had on normal shoes, which, see, just another shopping strategy, along with taking the little tiny plastic basket rather than the double-decker cart. But as you get to the front of the line, after you've put everything in a locker, which I do believe you do have to pay for it. And I think the tickets, if I remember correctly, I want to say they're about $75. You put everything in the locker, no phones. So I'm like, well, God, why the hell don't they let you bring your phone? And I'm thinking, oh, because it's, you know, it's glass. And if you drop, it's gonna, no, that's not why. As you near the front of the line, where you are given cloth booties that you have to put over your shoes. Well, here comes the photographer to give you to direct your attention to the menu of services, because of course you want your picture while you're out there. I'm looking around. I had one of my girlfriend and I. And yes, the cheapest picture package, I think, is $30, something like that. And as you can imagine, they go up from there. But I didn't, you know, you always hear these stories about people who go out on this glass walkway and they just freeze and can't keep going. It is a little smaller in scope than it looks on, you know, promo material and whatnot, but I'm not bothered by heights typically, but I will say I found that I had to look down. Probably the exact opposite of most people. And they stay with you. Like, this isn't a free reign. Do your own thing. Like, no, they move you along like in groups. They actually had us lay down. I'm like, you want me to lay down? Oh yes, this when we take the picture like this, it's so cool. And we did get some good shots, but the reason that came up is because when I left the hotel and was on the way to the Grand Canyon has different rims, North Rim, South Rim. I don't remember which one that is. I've seen all of them. They are all absolutely spectacular. If you've never seen it and you have the chance, you will not be sorry. But we had to make a pit stop for a bathroom break and to get some gas. And who knew that out in the desert, there was like I think I spent about $150 in the gas station gift shop. But it was all that great, like, crappy, trashy Las Vegas shit, like shot glasses. And then they had, like, all the old movie stars. It was a bunch of funny shit. Oh, in fact, I think I have, hold on. You guys should always be scared when you see me getting into the credenza, because it means I'm pulling. Oh, there she is. I'm getting ready to show you one of my gas station purchases. Hold on, I've got another one. I just saw that damn thing. Are you kidding me right now? It's because I've never used it. I'm like, what did I do with that? Have no fear. I have one of my gas station purchases. This is Vegas off-label wannabe Barbie. She's not quite like, she's not a showgirl, okay? She does not work in the ballroom of the Venetian or the Bellagio. She may or may not be standing outside of the Flamingo or Binion's Horseshoe on, a bad Wednesday. So there's her, and there is another fabulous Las Vegas gas station purchase. When I tell you that I can find something anywhere, I can. So see, YouTube helps me with my shopping problems. Now I just go for, rather than buying a bunch of little shit, crap, garbage that I shove in my credenza in my office, and then can't find when I need. No, now as you get older, you learn quality over quantity, and if you're lucky, quantities of quality. Oh yes, the alien stuff. Oh, then maybe, Mama Bear, can you tell me, when you are on the way to the Grand Canyon, there is that particular rim, and I can't remember which one it is, but as you are in the desert, I mean, they paint the sand if you want to pretend you have a yard. There was something on the right side. So I guess that was if we were going north, maybe. Who cares? And they were growing, like, they look like trees. They look like small trees. And I thought, what the hell? What is that? Is it olives? Is it wine? You can't grow wine in the damn desert, can you? Well, you don't grow wine, you grow you grow grapes. Yes, you grow wine. It's right next to that tree that my shoes fall off of. Yeah, no, that Hondo, that is not a Malibu Barbie. That's a gas station. That's a gas station, Las Vegas, third-rate D-list, show wannabe showgirl. Actually, probably more like out call from Backpage. she was her life's dream was to be a showgirl, but she was a little too chubby to wear the fishnets, and not only is heavy is the head that wears the crown, heavy is the head that wears the damn headdress. I mean, what was that bitch's name that made that movie that, oh God, she's probably still regretting to this day, because I don't think it was exactly a box office hit. And it definitely was not a critic's choice. What the hell was that movie? Showgirls. What was her name? Elizabeth somebody? Yeah, kind of like that. Well, that gas station Barbie. Oh, you know what? Wait a minute. I don't think that was gas station Barbie. I'm sorry, I lied. I can tell you exactly where that came from. Hey, Diamond Cutter. No, you said, girl, listen, I haven't checked my email, but I'll check it when I leave here. I'm so bad about my email. Yesterday when I checked the throwaway one I have, there was 1,200 emails in it. I just did mass delete, but I am going to check. And if I didn't get it, I will email you. Back to that broke down bitch, Barbie. Walgreens. That's the Las Vegas Walgreens Barbie. And you know why I was there? And I can tell you exactly where I was. It was the Walgreens that is just adjacent to the cookies dispensary that my son insisted I go to get t-shirts. And oh boy, was that a trip. I already talked about that on another episode. I will say that my friend that was with me, she does indulge, and she did buy a pre-roll, and I think she paid like $20 for it or something like that. And yes, she said it was well worth it. And of course, because we're too like middle-aged, not looking to have prison stories, documentaries, she was not going to be bringing it home on the plane with us. So she just puff and then left it there in the garbage. I think, or actually, did she return it back to its natural habitat? She might have scattered it. I'm not sure. Oh, all right. Oh, well, look at all the fun kids are just getting here. Honda, well, not that the fun kids weren't already here, but I was like getting ready to wrap up, and now I'm like, oh, I don't want to. But I've talked a lot. Hey, Gina Diamond, how are you? Runs with scissors, how you doing? Yeah, that was that Barbie did come from the Walgreens. I don't know where my other gas station purchase was. It was in here. I mean, I think I had like the equivalent of, all I know is the people that were standing behind me were not amused. They're like, bitch, I just came in here to get a damn coffee and a friggin' Slim Jim. Where do you think you are? Like, there's not an express lane. And I'm pretty sure it goes without saying that it's not like Home Goods where they, have that giant stack of recycled, probably cardboard paper, and they, would you like that wrapped? I'm like, if you can hurry. Yeah, no, it wasn't like that. Elizabeth Berkley. Elizabeth Berkley? I thought her name was Banks. Huh. Well, whoever it was. Oh God, Sloppy Molly Bobby with Walter Kidd. I ain't touching that one. Oh. Yeah, that cookies place was, it was a trip. And it was the craziest thing is when you go in the well, first of all, you have to buzz, you have to ring the doorbell. And I mean, I'm trying to figure out what you would have to look like to not be let in. But whatever it was, we passed muster and they opened the door. And when you go in, you're in this vestibule that's, that signature blue with a giant ass cookie. It's almost like like if Molly was going to to see all the people that are starstruck at her D-list celebrity event. Well, every good celebrity event has a step and repeat. And, Cookies has it's not a step and repeat, but it's got a big giant ass cookie flanked by a very large security guard who tells you upon entry that if you want to capture this moment for posterity, well, shuffle your ass on over there under that cookie and give me your phone and let's do this. And then you're told that once you enter the next set of doors where the good stuff is, well, you will not be able to. It goes without saying you're not taking pictures of anything. But what did surprise me was you are also not touching anything, even though there is merchandise everywhere, including what at the time had just come out that looked like the Back to the Future of bongs. It was like this big blue, looked like carbon fiber, had all this stuff coming out of it. I mean, I don't indulge anymore, but it was kind of like think of what the Easy Bake Oven was to, like, I'm the girl who, I'm actually a very good cook, but I like to joke that if you can find me a cookbook for the Easy Bake Oven, I will make you anything in the cookbook. I mean, what is not to like about a cake that you bake with a light bulb? And you don't have to wash the dish. You don't have to wash the pan. You just throw it out. And I actually saw that Back to the Future bong at one of my relatives' house not too long ago. And let me tell you something. They were paying no less homage than Cookies did. Cookies had it under a giant glass cloche. My relative's house, just about. It was in, well, let's just say they have an entire room in their house. All joking aside, the room is actually a work of art. They have slat wall, which if anybody's ever had a store or knows about merchandising stores, most stores use what's called slat wall, and it's just what it sounds like. They're wood slats. They're usually about, you can get them different distances apart, but then they can put either plastic shelves or metal hooks, blah, blah, blah. So they have actually got slat wall in most of the room. And not only do they collect paraphernalia, it's like art. It's all blown glass. I mean, listen, it's merchandised by type. Like, we've got the animal pipes, we've got the cars, we've got the people, we've got the food. And I, like, when they told me how much money is in this, I was like, can I wear them? Like, they are beautiful, but let's just say that they've taken this to its dedication. Okay, it is dedication. And I'm sure it goes without saying that directly in front of the movie theater seating is I think the latest TV is, I believe it's 85 inches. And the latest PS, whatever, all the gaming bullshit, because that's what one of them does, is just is a professional at indulging. And yeah, so the store is beautifully merchandised. Not as beautifully merchandised as my relatives' weed room. They have a name for it, but I'm not going to say it because it's probably this place is probably known on social media. But when you go in to the next set of more locked doors, this very chipper, we had a guy, but there was a couple girls, but it was mainly dudes. And this very chipper guy comes up and says, "Hi, I'm going to be your bud tender." And I'm like, and I literally looked at him. I said, "What is a bud tender?" "Well, I'm gonna take you through the store and I help you with whatever you're here for." And of course, I'm like, "Oh, I'm just here for, swag. She might be getting something. I'm just here for merchandise, swag." And what's weird is it's not a big room. I would say, I mean, it's bigger than my office, but it's not bigger than my bedroom. And they have the shirts, the backpack, everything they sell it's hanging on slat wall. And there'll be several pieces of t-shirts, let's say, but don't touch. Like they tell you, you cannot touch anything. I said, "Well, how am I going to know?" "Oh, all you do, I'm going to stand right here with you, and you lead the way. Tell me where you want to go, and you just point, but don't touch." Okay. Like I still don't know what that's about, but I, got what I wanted, which was too many shirts. She got hers. And then even then, when you say, "I want this, I want that," they don't take it off the rack of multiples. They, of course, the ever-present headset with the battery pack, and they 10-4. We've got a, well, we don't want a 187. We need a number blah 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 to the front, please. And then you walk up to what looks like nothing less than Fort Knox, like a bank, like a Wells Fargo or wherever you bank. 1, 2, 3. I believe there were 4 teller windows with the thickest glass you've ever seen, with the little round movie theater hole and the thing where there's just enough room to wait for it, because if you were like me and ready to drop your credit card in the metal slip and slide, oh no, we only take cash. What do you mean you only take cash? I don't have any cash. Oh, that's okay. Right over there. There's an ATM right there. And there is. And they only take cash. And I'm sure every single cent, of course, is reported. What a gig. And that was it. That was my cookie story. Is that what JLR reminds you of? I'm not going to tell you what he reminds me of. If Betty had a Barbie, call it the Manatee Strangler Barbie or the Buzzcut Butch Barbie. I prefer the Buzzcut Butch Barbie. Or I don't know. What about like Prison Barbie? How do you feel about Prison Barbie? God, I may be getting ready to be Brokeback Barbie right here. I think I'm ready to lose my lash. Am I? I don't. Oh yes, I am. So I just pulled it off. So now obviously I have to pull the other one off because can't be rolling around here with one eyelash. Oh, well. There you have it. Oh, God, you see why I wear the lashes? Woo! They just like, boom, they make your eyes pop. Although these are, it was weird because I thought that thing was literally like hanging on for dear life, but it wasn't. I guess it was just the way it was laying. Oh, well, c'est la vie. All right, kids. I've been here 3 hours and 10 minutes. That's entirely too long for me or anybody really to be moi spoiled. Oh no. Linebacker bar. How about Section 8 public housing Barbie? I mean, I'm not saying that's her. No. Oh God, we can do this for days, but it's hot in my office. So I think I shall bid you adieu. And Hondo, I hope you'll come back again. And everybody, I'm just paying special attention to Hondo because, you know, he's been thwarting my comments. I always try and get him to come over here. All right, well, shall we cleanse? I think we should. We'll end like we started. Namaste, bitches. One more for good measure. We talked about a lot of grimy shit. So, all right, you guys, everybody, please have a great day and be safe. Go enjoy your family. Go do something fun. I hope it's not 1,000,000 degrees where you are. And I'll see you over the next couple days. Bye.